The automotive world is governed by a simple hierarchy, where size equates to status and silence equates to power. But every decade or so, a vehicle arrives that shatters the established order not by following the rules, but by rewriting the physics of luxury entirely. Welcome to the 2026 BMW X10, a machine that doesn't just sit above the X7 in the lineup, but effectively creates a new stratosphere of German engineering that we haven't seen since the height of the pre-war era. To understand this Leviathan, we have to look back at the trajectory of BMW's sport activity vehicle lineage, starting with the E53 X5, which taught the world that SUVs could handle, moving to the X7, which proved they could offer limousine comfort, and stumbling slightly with the XM, which tried perhaps too hard to be a rock star. The X10 is the correction, the answer, and the ultimatum, all wrapped in frozen black metallic paint. It exists because the ultra-wealthy found the X7 too pedestrian and the Rolls-Royce Cullinan too ostentatious, creating a vacuum for a stealth wealth fortress that costs $250,000. As we walk around this absolute monolith of a vehicle, you realize the scale is deceptive because the proportions are so perfect. It sits on a wheelbase extended by 6 inches over the X7, yet the active air suspension drops it low when parked, giving it the stance of a shooting brake rather than a school bus. The design language, termed neoclassical minimalism by Munich, abandons the chaotic lines of the early 2020s for smooth, liquid metal surfacing that looks like it was carved by wind rather than stamped by robots. Under the hood lies the heart of the beast, and thankfully, BMW has resisted the urge to go fully electric for their flagship, instead opting for the S70 powertrain, which is a masterpiece of thermal efficiency and brute force. We are looking at a heavily revised 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 that utilizes a hot V configuration where the turbochargers sit inside the cylinder banks for instant throttle response. But the magic lies in the hybridization. Unlike previous plug-in hybrids that felt disjointed, the X10 utilizes a quad-motor electric assist system, one motor for each wheel, integrated directly into the hub assembly, a technology borrowed from their Le Mans program. This allows for torque vectoring that happens in milliseconds, meaning this 6,000-pound cathedral can rotate through a corner with the agility of an M3. The numbers are staggering. A combined output of 850 horsepower and, more importantly, 1,100 newton-meters of torque available from effectively 0 RPM. The cylinder bores have been coated in a diamond-like carbon structure to reduce friction, and the compression ratio has been bumped to 11.5 to 1, allowing for a lean burn cycle that gives this V8 highway efficiency that rivals a diesel. When you compare this to the Audi Q9 or the Mercedes-Maybach GLE 600, the difference is in the delivery. The Maybach floats like a boat, disconnecting you from the road, while the X10 utilizes an active electromagnetic suspension system that reads the road surface 500 times a second and physically lifts the wheel over bumps before you even hit them. It doesn't just dampen the impact, it erases it from existence. Stepping inside the cabin is where the motor wire verdict truly begins to form, because this is no longer a car interior. It is a mobile executive lounge designed for a future where driving is optional. The doors open electronically with a gesture, revealing an aperture so wide you could walk in standing up. The materials are a rejection of traditional automotive luxury. Instead of glossy carbon fiber or piano black plastic, which fingerprints easily, the X10 features open-pore gray ash wood and sustainable cashmere wool blends on the seating surfaces, which breathe better than leather and offer a tactile warmth that feels residential. The dashboard is dominated by the panoramic vision display, a single continuous curved OLED panel that spans the entire width of the car, but the real party trick is in the rear. BMW has integrated what they call the Halo Suite, where the rear seats can recline to a near-flat 60 degrees, and the panoramic glass roof can turn opaque at the touch of a button using suspended particle device technology. The silence is absolute, thanks to active noise cancellation that uses the audio system to broadcast anti-frequencies that cancel out wind and tire roar, creating a sound floor of 0 decibels. Driving the X10 is a surreal experience because of the decoupling effect of the steering. The steering wheel is not mechanically connected to the front wheels, utilizing a steer-by-wire system that filters out vibrations while simulating resistance based on speed. At 150 miles per hour on the Autobahn, the steering weights up to give you confidence, but in a parking lot, you can turn the wheel with a single pinky finger. The rear wheel steering turns up to 10 degrees, effectively shrinking the turning circle to that of a Mini Cooper, which is a physics-defying sensation when you look in the rearview mirror and see 20 feet of car following you. The acceleration is violent, yet undramatic. You simply press the pedal, and the horizon rushes towards you with the inevitability of a tidal wave, the V8 growl muted to a distant thunderstorm. Is this the ultimate luxury SUV? If your definition of luxury is the seamless integration of devastating performance and absolute isolation, then the answer is a resounding yes. It makes the competition feel analog in a digital world. Click the video on screen now to see how this compares to the competition.